You're listening to Excellence Above Talent, a podcast where we have the hard conversations about the lives of men and what leads us to achieve greatness and suffer defeat. Hear from other men's journeys as well, as we all learn and grow together to become inspirations to ourselves and those around us. And now your host, Aaron Thomas.
What's up, my beautiful people? Aaron Thomas with Excellence Above Talent. This will be a quick little podcast, but something that I'm kind of going through right now, and I'm talking to several people about, and I think it's kind of intriguing. Some people side with me, some people don't. So I just kind of want to jump on here and give you my opinion. All right, so this is a podcast where we want to help create high value men. And in doing so, I'm also doing the work and trying to figure out, the weaknesses within me to where, I am also trying to be a high value man. So it's not just something that I'm just like speaking out of my butt. Right, I'm going through it as well. I'm trying to figure out how to create a space where, as a man, I can be of value to my spouse, of value to my family, of value to the community that I am in. So one thing that's kind of been weighing heavy on my heart is the issue of sex. And I know for a lot of men, sex is a big deal. It is a maker or breaker of relationships. I can tell you from my perspective, it was a breaker of mine, not a maker. It was a breaker of mine because I never controlled or understood how to control my sexual urges or just urges in general. Again, I started watching porn at the age of 10. Not watching, but I was exposed to it. And I never questioned anything about it. If there was an urge, I always just handled the urge. Whether it be watching porn, masturbating, going and, finding someone to have sex with. But I'm starting to understand that a weak man is a man who cannot control his little head. If you call it his pee-pee, his penis, his dick, whatever you call it. A man who is weak, and there's several things that make men weak and devalue the greatness that is in men. And I think sex is one of them. Not learning how to control your sexual urges. Now, sex isn't bad. I'm not saying that. I like sex. I like sex a lot. But when you are hurting people in order to get it, that's where it becomes an issue. When you are blatantly not caring what this other person feels or thinks, and you just want, to get the cookie, then it becomes an issue. And so I feel like a lot of men will say and do whatever it takes to get it, and then once they get it, it's boring to them, so they leave or walk away or go find something else. Or they get in that relationship not knowing that they're not fully committed, and they cheat and continue to cheat until they get caught or until they, figure out that it's not good. So I'm a big believer in a man who cannot control his sexual urges is a weak man. And I'm saying that because, one, if you can't control yourself, you're going to hurt a lot of people in your life. I'm a big believer in that. If you can't control your emotions, if you can't control your anger, if you can't control yelling at people, if you can't control your impatience, there's going to be a lot of issues that you created because you're not in control of yourself. And so I think sexual urges is just one way to be in control of yourself. And you don't have to, anytime you have that urge, explore that urge or go in and try to fix that urge. And if you do, there's healthy ways to do it. Go work out, go read a book, meditate, right? Go for a drive, especially if you're not trying to be that guy where you're calling someone knowing that they like you, but you don't like them like that. But you also know that they'll give you what you need. And so you reach out to them and they come over and you do the do. And now they feel connected. But it was just a scratch that you had to itch. And so now you have to explain yourself and you have to, figure out why you're doing the things that you're doing, right? No one should be hurt because you can't control yourself. I'm just a big believer in that. And a lot of people hurt other people because they have no control over themselves. So again, learning how to control your sexual urges, I think makes you a better man, a stronger man, and a more complete man. Alcohol, let me tell you something about alcohol. Alcohol has never helped me, right? And anytime that I get drunk, those sexual urges intensify. And so at this point, I could care less who I hurt. I have to get mine. And it's dangerous, especially if you're not in control of these urges and then you put alcohol into the mix. You become a very dangerous person, a very dangerous man. And it doesn't matter, about anybody's feelings at that point. It's doing what you need to do to fulfill that urge that you have within yourself. So it is, to me, it's imperative. It's something that I am currently working on now. It's something that I am, trying to look at and fix, because I'm not doing this podcast just to talk. I'm doing it because there are people, men out there, who are trying to figure it out, who want to be better than their dads, or who want to be better than their grandpas. And sometimes, in my case, I didn't have a father figure to look up to. I didn't have a dad to look at and figure out these things. I found out a lot of the things that I found out through my cousins, or through school, or through society. And so it's a very negative outlook as to how I learned a lot of things about sex. And I now want to call it out. Society makes us think that as men, we have to have sex with as many women as possible. As many women as possible, because that's what makes you a real man. And I can tell you from experience, having a lot of sex with a lot of women, that doesn't make you a real man. Hell, it doesn't even make you happy. You are looking for something and you'll never find it in sex. Trust me. Because I've tried. I've tried searching for wholeness. I've tried searching for love. I've tried searching for happiness in between a woman's legs. And they can't give you that. And because you feel some type of way, you're going to continue searching and searching and searching and hurting all along the way, creating chaos all along the way. And then if you're not accountable, you're blaming these women for why you don't feel better. I know a lot of men who have sex with a lot of women. When I say a lot, I don't know a lot. But I know men who have sex with a lot of women and they're not happy. They're not any more happier than they were with having sex with one woman versus having sex with 50. So if you don't learn how to control the urges, if you don't learn how to control yourself and, how you feel, there's something that's going on that you are, me personally, when you're chasing after women and, trying to sleep with as many as possible, there's something going on mentally that as a man, you're not dealing with. And I feel it's the same way when it comes to drinking alcohol, watching porn, doing drugs, gambling. There's a hole that you're trying to fix within yourself, and you're trying to fix it with everything else outside and not going within. So I just think it's imperative, it's important for men, for young boys to understand and know that sex is a beautiful thing. It is. It's a very beautiful thing. but it's not a tool you use to use women to get what you need, right? A lot of times, guys have that notion. If I take you out to dinner and we go to the movies and I'm picking you up, that's my gas. Gas is $5 now. That's my gas. That's money that I'm spending out of my pocket, and you expect to not give me anything. That's the mindset of society, right? It's a crazy mindset, and I've had it majority of my life too. So I'm not going to sit here and be like bashing it, but it's a mindset that is a negative mindset that can create a sense of entitlement, a sense of entitlement. Because I'm doing this for you, there's an expectation. I'm leaving with something. And to me, that's a dangerous mindset to have as a man. If you like this person, then embrace her, enjoy her. If you had the intention of sleeping with her, well, tell her straight up and let her decide if that's what she wants to do. But don't play the game of, putting on this mask and acting like you're just, her knight in shining armor, and you're doing any and everything to make her feel special, to make her feel wanted. And then when she gives it up, you chop off. You go find somebody else. Because if it happened to you, from a guy's perspective, you would feel some type of way. Well, maybe not, because guys are just like, well, she gave it to me, so on to the next one. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you will feel some type of way. Maybe you will feel used as a man if a woman did that to you. But it's just something, again, that I feel society is pushing on men, where we have to be hypersexual. We have to establish dominance. We have to show women that we are in control. And I think it creates negativity when it comes to how we view women and how we look at women as a society and as men. And I am a big believer in a lot of these sexual urges come from porn. If you are watching porn on a regular basis, you're not watching porn just to watch porn. You're watching porn and you're masturbating. You're getting a fix. It's called a dopamine fix. If you're feeling stressed or nervous or angry, you go get a piece of that dopamine. You release some of that dopamine through masturbation, through watching porn. It relaxes you and makes you feel good. And a lot of times men are running to that to feel relief. I feel running to porn and masturbating creates urges that cannot be quenched. Running to porn and masturbating create urges that only objectify women. I can't see you other than my next meal. It's kind of like the hunter predator type vibe. If you're if there's an addiction, or if you're having a hard time with pornography and masturbating, you're looking at someone not to learn or grow with them. You're looking at them like, I need my next fix. So instead of having conversations and talking about the things that you're going through, you're only looking at her in a sexual format. So a lot of guys, when they're running around talking about she's nagging, she's bitching, she's nagging, she's not nagging. She's not bitching. She's telling you what you need. You don't give a damn. You don't give a damn what she needs, because in your head, all she's there for is to make you feel good when it's time for you to feel good. And I think pornography has a lot to do with that. Mentally, it can mess with your head. Trust me, because I've been dealing with this for like 25 years, off and on. So at some point, you're going to have to sit down and ask yourself, if I want to be a better man, what are some things that I need to take out of my life? You cannot mix porn and alcohol. You can, only chaos ensues. You cannot mix it, because the more porn you consume with the alcohol, you become a monster. Trust me. And it doesn't matter about how that person feels or what they're going through. Your goal is to get the cookie, and that is it. You're not listening. You're not trying to listen. You do not care. It's cookie or bust. Because if she's not going to give it to you, then you got to call the other person and try to get it from her. And so it just creates this, like, I don't know, it's just a vortex. And then after a while, it all catches up to you. Like you can't keep going down this spiral and expecting nothing to happen. It's going to catch up. And when it does, man, there's some things you got to deal with. There's some issues you got to go through because it will catch up. And you will find yourself trying to be better and do better. But those urges keep popping up. And instead of dealing with those urges and maybe trying to figure out where they're coming from, you go find a woman who thinks that you like her enough to have sex with her. And she might just be someone that is giving you your fix. And now she feels some type of way and you feel some type of way. And no one is happy in that situation. People get hurt. So men, find a way to deal with your sexual urges productively. You cannot run to porn or alcohol. And hell, sometimes your spouse isn't going to want to give it to you when you're feeling that urge. It happens. She's not entitled to open up her legs and give you what is hers. A lot of guys go through that too. They assume because she is mine, because we're married, because she's already given it to me once, she's got to give it to me again. Whenever I want it. And that's simply just not the case. And I grew up with that mindset. I grew up with that mentality of if a woman gave it to me one time, that it was mine. And that's a dangerous mentality to have because it's never yours. You don't have ownership of it. It is not your property. And dudes running around here talking about that cookie's mine, they're the ones getting hurt the most. Because she going and giving that cookie to not everybody, but she's giving that cookie to other people. And he's walking around here thinking like, hey, he in it. And it's only his. It ain't. It'll never be yours. No matter how long you've been with her. No matter how fast you've been with her. Or how long it took to be with her. Her cookie is her cookie. And what you can do as a man is to cultivate, to acknowledge, to love on her. And maybe she'll give you the cookie. But if she doesn't, can't force your hand in the cookie jar. You can't get upset. You can't get angry. You can't throw a temper tantrum. Because I'm a big believer in if your spouse doesn't want to have sex with you, but she's afraid of how you are going to act or react to her not wanting to have sex with you, that is a form of rape. Marital rape, where you are forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do because your actions could lead down a path to where she gets hurt. And in order for her not to get hurt, she gives you something that she doesn't want to give you. She is forced to have sex with you when she doesn't want to. That's the definition of rape. It doesn't always have to be black and white. Rape doesn't always have to be you're forcing yourself on someone and you're taking it. Rape could be creating an atmosphere where she isn't saying yes, but she's afraid to say no. So she says nothing. And if she is saying nothing, that is an answer. And her answer is no. Because consent is an unequivocally 100% yes. Yes, I want it. And if she's not saying, yes, I want it, there's fear. There's fear behind that. So as men, you have to pay attention to that as well. And if she is drunk, make sure she's okay. Get a pillow. Make sure she's laying down correctly and take your ass to bed. Because a woman who is drunk or high or on drugs cannot consent. I'm going to tell you right now, most of the women I've ever been with were drunk. We go to the club, we party, we hang out, we meet up with somebody, end up going to the house, her house, my house, it don't matter. We have sex. If she wakes up the next morning and doesn't remember and she feels violated and she calls the cops, there's nothing I can do because I didn't protect myself. Again, my urges were more important than making sure I'm not putting myself in a position to where someone could say this would happen. And she has every right to. She has every right to. So fellas, them sexual urges that you have, they're coming from somewhere. I can tell you now, mine came from childhood. I never questioned it. Anytime I got an urge, I just dealt with it. Whether that be magazines, JCPenney catalog, which is crazy. But the bra and panties section on the JCPenney catalog, you have to have a creative mind. You have to find a way. I know those analog TVs used to have like between 12 and 13. If you put it like right in between, there was like a little flick that came on every so often. I'd wake up early in the morning, Saturdays, before my family. Telemundo, the little Spanish girls in the bikinis dancing around. Never questioned it. I just thought it was normal. Hell, everyone else was doing it. I go to school and I'm talking to my friends, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. We're all doing it. We're all trying to figure it out. Family really isn't talking to us about it. And so that urge it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you become an adult. And now women are available, and they want it just as much as you do. So now you start to play that game. It's dangerous if you don't find a way to control your urges. You're a danger to yourself, and you're a danger to others. And again, this is my opinion. This is what I've gone through in my life. I can't tell you anything other than that. But I just know if I want to be a high-value man, if I want to be better than I was the day before, controlling my sexual urges is a must. No one deserves to be treated like crap in order for me to get my fulfillment. And it's sad because guys don't care if the woman that they with gets theirs. I mean, this is a scientific fact. 30 to 40 women might get theirs when having sex. 99% of guys get theirs when having sex. So it becomes now a thing of, I don't care if she gets it or not. She better get it before I get it, because if I get it, I'm done. There's also a level of selfish. That's a very selfish act, a very selfish thing to say, to maintain, to act on. And as a man, you know she didn't get hers, but you simply don't give a damn because she gave you what you came here for, and now you're asleep. We have to do better as men, not only for ourselves, but for this next generation of young boys coming up, because they're exposed to it like right now. I'm in schools and these kids are talking about it like right now. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. They know porn stars' names. They're telling me movies. Oh, he was a plumber on this movie. Oh, he was a doctor on this movie. So they're learning all of this stuff right now. And it's visual. You don't have to use magazines. You can get on your phone right now and just watch it. And if you have daughters, you should care about this. You should care about this a lot. You should want men and young boys to find a way to control their sexual urges, so you're not hurting people in the process to get your nut. And it lasts 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm lying. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It lasts less than 5 minutes. And there's so much chaos that's created within those 5 minutes or less. And you do not care if you're a man who hasn't been able to control his sexual urges. So, my opinion, if you cannot control your sexual urges, you are a weak man. No one wants to be a weak man. We all want to be strong. And society says a strong man slays, has sex with multiple girls. And I'm saying that's just simply not true. Because I followed that, and it only creates chaos. It only creates trauma. It only creates pain. And you hurt the people you say you love. A strong man is a man who has an urge and doesn't go destroy someone's life to fill it. So, if anyone hasn't told you today that they love you, let me be the first to say I love you. You're awesome. You're amazing. You deserve the best that this world has to offer. Do not give up. Do not quit, because this world doesn't get easier. You get stronger. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think about this conversation, because I'm always willing to learn and grow and figure things out. I appreciate y'all for listening. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And for daily motivational and up-to-date content, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Excellence Above Talent. And remember, keep moving forward, never give up, and you are never alone in this battle. We'll see you next time.